I like small computers. The reason I like small computers is you can just tuck them behind your monitor or stuff them in a drawer or just get them out of the way. But this is a mini computer that wants to be seen. It's a mini computer from our friends at Minisforum that has a, can you see it already? There's a screen on this thing, and not just a screen, a touch screen. As you can imagine, not really meant to stuff this one in the drawer. I guess it probably sits, okay, yeah, there's a stand. Ah, this is making more sense. Is it an adjustable stand? Whoa, look at that. That's got some nice, whew, she's stiff. It doesn't have screws, so you can't make it stiff again if it becomes loose, but it's pretty good to start. Clip it on there, and you can see, boom, the Minisforum AtomMan X7 Ti. I bet the Ti stands for titanium. It's a little computer with a 4-inch touchscreen on it. Why? I don't know. Look at that. It's so quaint and shiny. I mean, fingerprints wise, like look at this. There's some other stuff going on here. What is that? Does it look like microphones? Oh God. It's a computer with a webcam. You guys know how much I liked the last one of those. This one kind of makes sense though, because you have to have it front and center for the touchscreen, so you might as well stick a webcam on there. We've got some cables in the box. HDMI cable, which Minisforum pretty much always includes. Nice touch. We got the little Mickey ears to a standard cable, and then a cute little power brick. Yeah. In Chinese. Okay, never mind. And that's it for the box. It is 120 watts. Oh, that's a lot of juice. On the outside, on the top, okay, this part of the I/O is at least smart. If you need an SD card slot, it's basically as convenient as it possibly could be. Oh, look at that. Do you see what's happening here? Look at this. Look, it's got a physical blocker doodad, so you can actually disable the webcam, which is very nice when it's a webcam that's physically integrated into the device. Power button, lots of ventilation here. I mean, we got a 120 watt power brick, so I imagine it needs it. We've got this guy here, we've got that guy there, and some ventilation on the bottom. On this side, we've got the DC power in and HDMI 2.1 port, always nice to see. Some manner of USB type A, the blue one. I think this is a 5 gig port because they list that there's one 5 gig and two 10 gig type A's. We'll see the rest of those in a second. We've got a USB 2.0 type A. We've got DisplayPort 2.0. They don't list the throughput rate, so I'll see if I can figure that out before the end of this video. Two 5 gig Ethernet jacks, a USB 4 and Oculink. Is 5 gig making a comeback? This is the first recent product I've seen that actually is integrating it again, which is great because, yeah, doubled the speed of even 2.5 gig, 5 times the speed of 1 gig. That Oculink port is great if you want to run an eGPU. Minisforum even actually makes an Oculink dock that you can buy for a somewhat reasonable price, but this is a PCIe Gen 4 x 4 connection inside of here. It's not Thunderbolt, even though there is this USB 4, which you also could use for an eGPU. It's just like a straight PCIe connection, which is pretty nice because there's a little bit less overhead. There are the other USB type A ports I was talking about. These are likely 10 gig. And then we've got another USB 4, combo audio, and a reset button. That's pretty much it for I/O. That looks great on my desk. I wish the stand had some thought put into like cable management. Like if the ports came out of the bottom and it was a little bit taller stand that kind of hid them, that would be cool. Or like, hey, how about put the I/O on the back maybe? Huh? It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not the best. All right, boom. Hey look, it's this message from our sponsor.
Thanks to Asphalt Legends for sponsoring this video. Rev up for Asphalt Legends Unite. Bring your progress from Asphalt 9 and dive into action-packed racing with over 250 hypercars and stunning new graphics. Race through the thrilling Singapore track and enjoy the freedom of crossplay on PS5, PS4, Android, iOS, PC, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and Steam Deck. Connect with friends in multiplayer and co-op modes across all platforms. With special launch rewards and the ESL finals at Gamescom on August 25th, there's never been a better time to join the race. Check it out in the description.
Oh wow, it's got like stuff on it already. Whoa, look at that. Wow. I've got this wonderful color appropriate, very stealthy cable to plug into the side of this thing. All right, specs wise, we've got a Core Ultra 9 185H. This is a Meteor Lake chip. with some AI stuff built in. We got 32 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte Kingston SSD. You can also order this thing as a bare bones, which I would encourage you to do because you can probably get a better deal on the SSD and RAM yourself. We can see the 5 gig Ethernet I mentioned earlier, and then also Intel Wi-Fi 7, which should be pretty fast. I don't have a Wi-Fi 7 access point here to try it with, but we'll do a little speed test in a second here. I've been informed that there is no software. I mean, it's reading stats. There's a piece of software on here called SCCS. I am not familiar with. It doesn't seem to launch, but I think that might be the background app that does the communication. Let's see, how accurate are we talking here? 42 degrees on the CPU package. It says 43 there, that's close enough, right? Oh yeah, there's a few second delay. It looks like maybe 3 seconds, but it does actually seem to read the specs somewhat accurately. I'm sure it's just pulling from the sensors through that piece of software. What if we try like a speed test? Does it update? Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. They say it's a 480p screen, so I guess it's 480 by 480 given that it's a square. It is a touch screen, so we can adjust our system volume. We can adjust the screen brightness. What does this USB button do? Device interface. Whoa! Oh look, it tells you, it's a map of the ports. That's kind of cute. Except it says USB 3.2 on all 3 of these blue ones. Very helpful. What else we got here? Does this display other things? Mode adjustment. Ooh, performance mode. Does this just change the power profile and can you even oh yeah, it's making noise now. It doesn't. This is doing something else.
It slightly adjusts the CPU GPU balance for the wattage.
What else we got in here? Clock. How do is there not other screens? Like the swipe, how do I do? Oh, look at that. Wow, we got fancy clocks. This is an Apple Watch now. This seems like what most people would display on this screen. You know, like it's got a clock on the computer. It looks okay. It's not gonna be the most customizable thing in the world. You can't drag and drop stuff, but you can at least change the languages and slightly adjust where things are. I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's cool that it's not just like a DisplayPort connection to your PC and you have to run some stupid software in the background, although there is some software in the background. Let's try the webcam. I'm sure it's great. Oh man, look at that. That's lovely. This is, actually, it's pretty good, actually. Does that not look pretty good? It looks pretty good. I mean, we're at half studio lighting, half not very lit. It does look good, even in the dark. I mean, there's still one light above me, but it's pretty dark in here, and it's a little noisier, but for a webcam, seriously. All right, boys and girls, let's see this go burr. Hey, look at that. 5 gigabit. Dude, 5 gig is sick. If just more things supported it, it would be much better, but pretty frickin' sick. Naturally, we should try the Wi-Fi too. It's an Intel Wi-Fi chipset. It's fast. I mean, realistically, this AP seems to max out at about 600 unless you're on 6 gigahertz. So yeah, good. 700 up, look at that. Boom. It's an APU-ish. I mean, this is like a laptop chip with integrated graphics. It's not gonna blow your socks off, but it will play games like Rocket League at 1080p pretty decently. Or if you're using it as like a little HD PC, it's gonna do that totally fine. For comparison, we looked at an Asus Zephyrus G16 with the dedicated GPU turned off, so it's basically the exact same chip as in here at that point. And generally it was faster. It doesn't seem like the balance versus performance mode makes a huge difference. If anything, it's within an FPS or two, but it also is very possible that the G16 is thermal throttling because they like to do that. This thing doesn't seem to. I mean, it's relatively quiet. Let's see how loud it gets. This is in the balance profile right now, and Cinebench is one of the situations where you could actually see a difference between balanced and performance mode, even though it didn't make much of a difference in games. I mean, it's pretty quiet right now. If this was sitting on my desk next to my monitor, I think it would get annoying if I wasn't wearing headphones. Or if I had open back headphones, this would drive me crazy. I mean, the exhaust is right upwards in your face. It just kind of sounds like a laptop. It's a quiet laptop. Here, this will give you a better indication. Here's performance mode. Balance mode. It's way quieter. When you move to non-performance tests like Blender or Photoshop, A G16 is a touch faster, but we're pretty much in the same range. So it performs as expected. I don't know if anyone is looking to buy this thing as a performance monster, but it would do calculations pretty much as to your expectations. I can't imagine it's getting that hot. Oh, it's click. I should be trying to score here. Hey, thanks teammate. I'm a little disappointed in the noise levels. I mean, Minisforum, their mini computers are usually pretty good noise-wise, but the screen obviously causes a little bit of ventilation constraints. Let's look at the temps here. This is in balance mode for the reference. We're like CPU package. I mean, it's all over the place as a game, but getting up into 75, and our package power is at like 37 watts, and it's this loud. All that's left now is to take it apart. Hey, I don't know how good it is to put a magnet near your computer, but the LTT cable management keyhole thingies that you usually use for power bars just barely fit in there. It's not really in there, but it's in there enough. And now, watch this. Your webcam can be mounted at a very convenient location. Yeah, jokes aside, you could stick this on the side of your computer, or like if you have a metal wall or a fridge beside your computer. This is a thing they keep doing. Minisforum, please God, make the feet not get destroyed when you want to take the computer apart. I don't understand this. Like, there you go, great. I can take it apart by just destroying these little rubber feet because they're sticky. Usually you can stick them back on, but like, just don't put the screws to take the computer apart underneath the frickin' feet. Hello, sir. Can I get some open, please? Whoa, the ports are on a daughter board. Why would they do that? How am I supposed to detach this? That's a big cooling apparatus. It's a big fan. Explains why it's so noisy. That's a lot of screws, man. I don't know if I'm trying to take this off right now. Damn, look at them heat pipes. Woo, that was hefty. Why is this thing so loud? We've got the two SODIMM slots where you can put up to 96 gigs of DDR5 memory. You got little graphene, actually it's thick graphene pads. What are these? Crucial, 5600, cool. And over here we can see the two M.2s. This is the 2280 it comes with. This is a Gen 4 slot. And then there's also a 2230 slot if you want to put a second SSD. I am gonna take this little board off because I wanna see the back of the screen. You're supposed to take the cooler off before you do this. Oh God, yeah, there we go. Look at that. If you need to do this for whatever reason, take the little ribbon cable out of here and take the CPU cooler off first because, yep. Oh, the CMOS battery is on the back, brother. I mean, they give you a reset button, but if you need to get at that, that's a pain in the. And then there's the Wi-Fi card, which also pain in the to get at. The screen definitely can just come out now that those screws are taken out. This screen module has an SD card slot on it. That's weird. Oh, that ribbon cable. This ribbon cable is not for the screen. This is for the camera. It says right there. Well, it's a mini computer with a screen on it. It seems to perform as it should. It's a little bit noisy. The screen doesn't act as a desktop screen if you're hoping for that. It's just those displays or a clock. The webcam is pretty good and it's kind of expensive. This is $669 US bare bones. That means no SSD and no RAM. It's not cheap. If you want it with 32 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte SSD, and with the eGPU dock, you're looking at $899 US as of right now. I mean, if you want this, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But also, you probably don't need this. Just buy like a UM790 or a UM890. It's cheaper and probably faster and less noisy and smaller. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, maybe check out the time that I looked at that Minisforum that just had a webcam integrated into it. It was strange then, it's still a bit strange, but that one's webcam actually still works at the end of the video.